Hi, everyone. This is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. And tonight we're talking about some planetary energies that have been affecting us and will continue to affect us for a little bit longer. But I wanted to give you a little bit deeper insight of kind of what's coming up for us in April. April has a lot of amazing energy in it. Hi, Miss Carmen. Um, I know I was legit sick last week. Totally bad. But I'm back this week. I'm feeling better, not 100%, but I'm feeling so much better. So, but I'm glad to talk to y'all about energy because this is going to be amazing. If you're online, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, make sure you say hi. Let me know that you're there, and make sure you ask some questions. There's some amazing energy coming, and I want to make sure that you're prepared for it. Of course, I do. We figured it out last year that I did over 400 videos last year. And so that means, hey, Miss Gigi, I have at least one video launching every day. And sometimes I have two videos. So I usually have one at like 11:15 and then another one at 1:15 if there's a lot of energy coming in. Hey, Miss Grisetta, Grace, how are you doing? It's one of those. So let's talk about Taurus energy. That's kind of what we're moving into. Hey, Miss Jade. Taurus energy is coming at us, and we basically hit Taurus energy, kind of like Taurus season, April 20th through May 20th. And it's really some, I don't want to say like heavy energy, but it's going to be very grounding energy. So this is going to be some very grounding, kind of chill out. Aries energy that we're kind of finishing up on now has been like, keep going, keep running, keep going, fire, constantly going. And hi, Madeline. Hi, Yuri. And now we get kind of step into Taurus energy, which is very grounding, very mellow, kind of take it easy. So that's going to kind of feel like we're kind of taking the pressure off of us for a little bit, but it's only like pressure off us for 30 days. But it's one of those, this is kind of a great time to kind of really decide what you want to do, kind of where do you want to go with all of this. And thanks, Carmen. I'm feeling so much better. It was some crazy stuff, but let's talk about some energies that are going to be affecting us, are already kind of affecting us now. So one of them is we have Jupiter in retrograde. And hi, Miss Linda, how are you doing? So we have Jupiter, who really technically is in that Jupiter is in, will be in post shadow on May 4th, but it's already affecting a lot of us because of where we have Pluto in the sign of Pisces, which has been very flowy, very easy energy, or kind of very easy to, hi, Miss Sandra, kind of easy to kind of, I don't want to say manipulate, but kind of work through the energy. Jupiter, all about expansion and growth and good luck and divine energy, that sort of thing. And then we have that in the sign of Pisces, which is all about this flow. Pisces are the two fish, so it's all about like this flow of energy, this okay, Myra, it won't let me wave hi to you, but hi, Myra. Pisces in this flow energy. So we've had a lot of good luck. I will say most people have, not everybody has good luck all the time. Sometimes people, depending on where the planets are in your chart, can be a little bit harder. But I will say for the most part, people are kind of finding this energy in Jupiter to be a little bit easier than what we've had in the past. But I will say that Jupiter goes into full retrograde, or goes into post shadow on May 4th. So we're getting ready for that. So this kind of like easier energy isn't going to necessarily go away instantly, but it's going to become a little bit more difficult. It's not going to be as easy to work through. It's not going to be as easy to deal with. Our next thing that we're kind of dealing with is we have Mercury going into retrograde. Now everybody goes, ooh, Mercury in retrograde. I know a lot of people do not like Mercury in retrograde, but if you know how to work through Mercury in retrograde, it can actually be a really cool or interesting time. Let's give you some hard facts on Mercury in retrograde. Mercury goes into pre-shadow energy on April 26th in the sign of Taurus. It stations in full retrograde on May 10th. It comes out of full retrograde and goes into post shadow on June 3rd, and then leaves post shadow on June 18th. And this one, because it's kind of, as it kind of does its little backwards flip, it's going to be going back into Gemini, which is its home planet. So Mercury is the planet of communication, all communication, emailing, text messaging, your GPS, your any of that stuff, how you link into your office, all of those things are kind of be on the fritz for a little bit, especially when Mercury goes into full retrograde on May 10th in the sign of Gemini, because Gemini is all about communication as well. So you have both of them kind of like acting against each other. And so you're going to have a lot of miscommunications. Now, you could be like me, and I'm already in that energy. Okay. So a couple of things to kind of keep in mind as we kind of work through this little bit heavy energy in Mercury. It's one of those, if you start something new, make sure you start it before Mercury goes into retrograde. And I would say start it before April 26th. So start it now. If you're thinking about it, if you want to get a book on how to macrame, or you want to get a book on how to design a shirt, or you want to get a something and work a project, great, go get it now. Don't wait. If you want to be in communication with someone, open up to them now. Don't wait until Mercury's in retrograde. If you want to sign a contract, if you want to do any of that kind of that like hardcore stuff, make sure you get it started now so you can finalize it when Mercury's in retrograde. If you start something during Mercury in retrograde, you're more likely to have issues, or it's not going to stick, or you're going to have more complications with that. It's one of those, I often tell people, when you push Mercury, it kind of is like a donkey with the butt in the ground. I mean, it's one of those, when you start going, oh my gosh, my computer doesn't work, and oh my gosh, this doesn't work, and oh my gosh, this doesn't work, and I'm getting frustrated and angry, and all Mercury does is like sit down and go, okay, fight it out. I'm not going to worry about this. So when you kind of take it a little bit easier, it takes it easier on you. When you got to go, oh, okay, my computer's taking longer than expected, I'm going to go get me another cup of coffee. It comes up. It does it without a problem. A lot of times during Mercury in retrograde, I will turn off my phone for a few minutes and then turn it back on. So I'm constantly doing that. I would say 1 to 2 times a day. Unless I'm having problems, I may do that a little bit more often. But it's one of those, I'm doing that so it's like refreshing itself and I'm not losing stuff. I've had Mercury in retrograde where I've not gotten any voicemails, and I'm just like, that's really crazy. I normally get a couple of them a day. This way, it's one of those, do it now. Like, plan that ahead of time. If you're going to start something new, start it now. Whatever that is, a project, writing a book, writing an email, whatever it is, like start it now. So you're going to finish it during Mercury in retrograde. It's the best way to do it. It's kind of the only way to do it. So it's one of those, Mercury is going to be really affecting us. And this could also affect kind of like feeling more tired, feeling more anxious, kind of more out, you know what I'm saying? Like things not going your way, that sort of thing. But if you start it early, if you start it in advance, it's going to help. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is we are going to have an eclipse at the end of April. It actually starts here in the Houston area, April 30th, and it starts, I want to say, it's like a lunar eclipse. I want to say it starts at like 1:45 and it finishes about 6 o'clock on the 30th. So this is going to be a really kind of interesting time, kind of flowing of energy. When we have an eclipse, it's really kind of giving us kind of a green light to what do we want to do? What do we want to step into? And because that happens after Mercury is going into pre-shadow, we want to start that in advance. Like, what do we want to start now? So that just kind of amps us forward. This eclipse is going to be in the sign of Taurus. So that's going to be kind of like we're going to be in the sign of Taurus at that time frame. And then we're having an eclipse in the sign of Taurus. It's going to make us feel like wow, where do we want to go? Kind of like I want to lay back and relax and kind of daydream of where I want to be coming up in the future. Where do I want to go in the future? Where do I want to be? So that's kind of an interesting energy for a lot of us of kind of just where is this energy flowing into? What's going to happen? A lunar eclipse energy will really be pushing us really, really fast, and we will be feeling the effects for the next 6 months. This one, if you do not do anything right after the eclipse. I would say usually the first week or so, anything related to personal finances. Don't open a new loan. Don't do any, what I'm saying, like buy a house, whatever it is. Especially with Mercury in retrograde, it's going to make it even worse. It's going to make it seem like it slows down even more, or you're going to have lots of complications, lots of issues coming up, lots of problems in that area. There we go. Sorry. So a lot of problems in that area. So make sure that you're doing that. And this is also a great time to kind of like really think about like, what would I like to get rid of? Is there things that you've been holding on to that you're kind of like, I'm kind of feeling like I'm ready to let this go. I'm ready to like let this energy fly around, or kind of like not push this so hard. So this is going to be a great time to kind of push this energy of what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? And kind of making yourself feel very comfortable. But I guarantee you, if you have like a lot of things hanging around, or a lot of energy hanging around in old books or old clothes that you're kind of like, I was going to donate that, but I haven't done it yet. Go ahead and get rid of it. Go ahead and let that go so you can kind of clear out into this new energy. We do have, like I said, this event happening in the sign of Taurus. So this is going to get us to kind of really evaluate or reevaluate kind of our kind of relationship or possessions with money, of like donate it now so you don't have to worry about it. So you have a new space open for what's coming up next. This is a great time to kind of like think about what do you want to do next? Where do you want to go? And kind of like, how do you want to upgrade? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? This is also a great time to plan trips. Plan it like in your head, not plan it on the computer. Plan it in your head, kind of like, oh, I'd like to go to this location, and let me look at some hotels in the area, or what is it I want to do in this area. So those are kind of the really cool, fun parts of kind of amping up this energy. Anybody have any questions? Anybody has a question? I'm going to pull a couple of cards, and then we're going to continue talking about this, but I've got my angel cards all ready for you guys. If y'all have any questions, make sure you ask. Make sure you let me know what you got on your mind. Miracles. This is a really great time for miracles. These are kind of the miracle cool cards of with these planets going into retrograde, with the eclipse coming, with all of this energy kind of jumping on, or kind of layering its energy. It's going to really amp up some amazing energy. And then, of course, like I said, we have Jupiter in the sign of Pisces, which is going to even amp up our luck even more. So probably over the next 2 weeks, you're going to see a lot of people winning the lottery or getting their dream house or whatever it is. You're going to see a lot of people kind of hit that lucky streak for a while, probably until about May 10th or 11th. And then it changes signs. Let me pull another card here. If y'all got any questions, let me know. Answered prayers. This is a really interesting card, because a lot of time answered prayers are really interesting because it's something that you've been craving or desiring. But I also tell people, when you are asking a prayer, how it comes to you is not up to you. It's one of those, it's really important to really just think about the thing happening. Like, I want this person to call me, or I want this job opening to happen, or I want this healing to happen. And that's what's really, really, a really good thing. Jane says, should I play the lottery? I could say, yes, you could play the lottery, but I would say only do it if you're body testing the numbers, body testing the day that you should do it, that sort of thing. There's some really interesting days, but I would do that before Mercury goes into retrograde. So do that before the 26th. You don't want any of that to affect your kind of your winning, kind of what you're doing in that area. Let's pull another card up. This one is jumping out at me right here. So I'm going to pull this one first. Okay. Balance. Really, this is the energy that this eclipse is bringing into us, because we're going to have a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse within 2 weeks of each other, and finding the balance, kind of finding the energy for ourselves in all of this is going to be the best time. Balancing this energy out is going to be a great time for us, and really an interesting time to kind of step out of our comfort zone. And what would we like to step into? What would we like to kind of just have happen for us? Open up kind of the goodie bags. What would we like? What would we like to do? What would we like to accomplish? What would you like to start? And like I said, getting ready for Mercury in retrograde is a really good time to start stuff. And usually I'll start projects and kind of leave them halfway done and then finish them up during Mercury in retrograde, because it kind of just gives me something to do and kind of entertain myself. And at the same time, will give you some amazing energy of when you have the issues or the problems. It's like, oh, I can do this instead. I can go here instead. New loves. This is a great time. And it doesn't mean necessarily you're going to find a new honey or a new partner or whatever else. It just means that you may find some new things coming in your life that you're really in love with. Last time I pulled this card, one of my clients said she fell in love with a new book series. And I was like, that's what you get. You kind of fall in love with things that you weren't expecting to fall in love with, or a new movie series or a new show that really teaches you something. And a great way to kind of push your energy in some different avenues than you normally would have. My next card is ideas and inspirations. So this is the great time to do this, not only with Mercury going into retrograde, kind of what are the ideas and inspiration that you want to step into, but also what are the ideas and inspirations that you want this eclipse energy to leap you forward into. What is it that you're really craving to bring into this energy? What are you really craving to bring in to all of this? That's the cool part about this. And this could really amplify what's coming up next for you. Kind of, where do you want to go? Where do you want to end up at the end of this? Focus. What you focus on is what you're going to bring into you. So if you're focused on the negative stuff, things not working out, not clearing out your words and communication, especially with Mercury in retrograde, clearing out your words is powerful. So many times oh my gosh, I was literally talking to someone today, and what did they say? Oh, something like, oh, maybe with the luck of Jupiter, I'll find my new love. And then I was like, oh, that sounds great. And then literally in her next breath, she goes, but men always cheat. Seriously, seriously, seriously. I'm like, oh my gosh, like literally you're already saying it before you ever bring in this person. So you're kind of giving them permission to cheat on you before you ever start anything with them. Oh my gosh. So make sure that you're careful with your words. Make sure that you're careful with your energy. So many people do that, like just like Jade asking if she should play the lottery. So a lot of people say, oh yeah, I've played the lottery so many times, 10 times in the last year, and I've never won, and no one ever wins the lottery. So why are you spending your money if you believe no one ever wins? That's what I'm saying. Those are the crazy things to kind of keep in mind in your head, so that you understand, like, how am I not thinking about this correctly? How am I like shooting down my own ideas before I ever get there? How am I doing that? So many times that happens. Um, to bring that energy forward. Yuri is asking, so if you're ready for that one person to commit to, how do you stay positive about it? So if you're ready for a commitment, what you want to do is like send out that energy, kind of like that answered prayer of like, I want someone who's committed to a relationship. I want someone who's ready for a relationship, someone who's ready to kind of step into this energy, someone that has some same interest that I do. It's one of those kind of thinking about it in a really positive way, but not, I only want it if it's this one person. I only want this if it's this one person. That doesn't work as well. So it's one of those, that's kind of the interesting part of like putting it in out there of like, I'm ready, kind of like, like, hello, heaven, can you send my new person coming in? This would be lovely to have right now, to start this new relationship. I would not be starting a relationship during Mercury retrograde. So you need to start it before or you need to start it after. But sending out that energy of like finding another person that matches your energy. And I often tell people start out with just wanting a friend, because friends are kind of like the best people to start relationships with, because you've already gotten to know them on a friend level before you kind of step into that committed relationship. So that's also a really good way to bring that energy in as well. This one is your guardian angels. Let your guardian angels know what you're looking for. I often tell people, when you are looking for a new love or something new in your life, if you wrote down the description, could someone else go to the whatever store and get it for you? If you're looking for a new man, if you wrote down the description, would someone be able to go to the man store and find them? Or if you're looking for a new partner, a new female partner in your life, and you wrote all of that information down, would someone be able to go pick them out? That's how clear you need to be, not how they show up or whatever it is. I have to meet them at work and we have to have exactly the same hobbies and we have to like the same things and they have to love fishing or whatever it is. Like, not everybody likes the same thing. And sometimes it's nice to have a partner that doesn't have the same 100% of the same likes that you do. You get a break. They get to go fishing and you get to go shopping, or you get to go fishing and they get to go shopping, whatever it is. It's kind of like, that's the fun part about it, is finding people that have like different interests than you do or different personalities. Usually people that the best partnerships I've ever seen are people that have completely different personalities. So that's also a fun one too. It's kind of like, yay, different personalities really help. Dreams, your dreams, dreaming about the person, dreaming about what you want to bring into you, and then make sure that you're clear about what you want. I want this job opportunity to come into me. I want this job opportunity to come into me. I want this to come into me. And I would say during a time frame, I want it in the next 2 to 3 months. I want it in the next 4 to 6 months, whatever it is. And that makes life so much easier when you get really clear and not just leave it open-ended. Music. I love music. I'm a music aficionado. I love music. I love how it calms us down. And that's something that can really help during Mercury in retrograde. Mercury in retrograde can be a really helpful thing to kind of calm you down, relax you out. I would also say the other thing in Mercury in retrograde to continue to do or to keep up with is your meditation. So make sure that you are adding your meditations to this and keep that up during this time frame, because that can be really, really positive. Starting something new can be a great thing to do during Mercury in retrograde, or even during eclipse energy. Sometimes when you start something new during eclipse energy, it will just like pop in your head and you will have it in there forever. So that's kind of like a really cool accent to things. Our next card, soulmate. This isn't always a partner. It can be a partner, but it could also mean that there are some new people that are going to match your energy. The last person I pulled a soulmate card for actually found a new business partner, and now they're getting married. But they didn't start out as getting married. They started out as business partners, and that was something really fun for them to get into. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Anything else? Okay. Let's see. One more card. Playfulness. One of the things that really is important during Mercury in retrograde is to take things easy and play with the energy. Like I said, when things don't work out, I always tell people like, oh, that's my cue to go outside and take another break, or go get another cup of coffee if I drink coffee, or another cup of tea, or take a break for a few minutes. That sort of thing. It really does help your energy a lot. What's I'm saying, like, what's one of the best energies to do is not to fight it, not to bring it up. Anything you fight has to match your energy. So the more you start having problems, the more it's going to fight your energy on it. So like I said, kind of take it easy with that in Mercury in retrograde during this time frame, but also during our eclipse energy coming up at the end of the month. I do have a lot of videos out that are going to be explaining even more about the eclipses, the solar eclipse, the lunar eclipse, Mercury in retrograde, all of those things. So kind of keeping that in mind as you come forward. You can find me online or through YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, and track me down. If y'all don't have any questions, we're going to close it out for tonight. I'm going to give you any question, what you want to ask. I know it takes a while from y'all to me, to you. It's the way it goes. Thank you, Jade. I thank you so much. I love you guys. I'm going to see y'all again, not next week. I'm going to be off. I've got a family dinner to go to, but I will be back the following week. And then we're going to go from there. I've got a whole bunch of new classes starting up over the next few weeks. And so I'm going to be busy with classes and teaching people about their own psychic abilities, which is really, really fun. I thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'll talk to you soon, guys.